Season 11 of My Big Fat Fabulous Life has been full of things that maybe should not have been said on national television, like Angie throwing shade at Whitney. I actually think that Angie forgot she's being constantly recorded and anything you say can and will be used in final editing for the show. Now, some of these things are amusing and others just burn through your eyes and you wish you'd never seen them. Welcome back to Tea with Trishie, where you are free to express different viewpoints and perspectives. Let's get into today's tea. Season 11 started out very somber with Bab's funeral, but quickly jumps into Glenn's bucket list and the newest family drama of Whitney's half-sister Angie and the whole Alabama, as she calls it, family. This actually adds an interesting element to the show. Watching the show, you could visibly see that Whitney has lost a significant amount of weight, which is a good thing. But the interesting thing to see is how losing around 100 pounds makes her think she is tiny little thing that is as light as a feather. Yes, she is considerably smaller than she used to be, but she is not a lightweight by any stretch of the imagination. When they go into the indoor skydiving place to check an item off of Glenn's bucket list, we see Whitney weighing in, and she is just under 300 pounds and is able to participate in the skydiving. So she's thrilled. But also note that she was not able to really fly up high due to her excessive weight, which confirms she is not as light as she may think. I wish I had Whitney's mentality because when I lose weight, I still feel like I'm significantly overweight. I never think I'm as light as a feather. To further prove that Whitney thinks that she is a lightweight, we have the scene where Whitney is trying to convince her father to go to Morocco. To convince her dad to take this trip, she attempts to ride on Lenny's back, who is walking on his hands and knees dressed like a camel. Even Glenn notices that poor Lenny was struggling. Whitney confirms that she used to be 385 pounds and she's lost almost 100 pounds. So she is not sure why Lenny is struggling. Hello. 285 pounds is not light. The scene was funny watching her struggling to stay on Lenny and Lenny struggling not to collapse and Glenn commenting on the heavy lifting that Lenny was trying to accomplish. Now, don't get me wrong, I am very happy for Whitney in losing 100 pounds because I know I would be thrilled if I lost that much weight. It just seems that in Whitney's mind, she's thinking she is much lighter and smaller than she actually is. Like, to climb on the back of poor Lenny? That's ridiculous. Now, when Angie and Jamie come to visit Whitney and they go on that paddle boat ride, did you remember this scene? Everyone was climbing into their boats and they're all settled in waiting for Whitney to get into her boat. She pushes her little toe on the boat and she starts freaking out because the boat is sinking, she said. And so as Whitney is struggling and hesitates to get in, Angie tells her,
I mean, the damn thing holds 1,400 pounds.
Now, I don't know that Angie meant for this to be heard by everybody, but the cameras caught it. Whitney quickly tossed Angie a cross look because after all, Whitney's lost nearly 100 pounds. During this visit, Whitney takes Angie and Jamie to get a massage. Now, I do not know about you, but the thought of seeing Whitney in the buff is frightening. Poor Angie and Jamie had to witness this firsthand. Whitney is not shy about her body. Whitney quickly undresses and we had to see the blur vision of Whitney.
I can now pick your boobs out of the lineup.
But did you catch Angie's quick comment about how tiny Whitney's areolas are compared to her big old tits? This made me choke on my tea. This is definitely something I did not need a visual of. Seeing the blur of Whitney being nude was too much of a visual. But to have her body parts described? Nope, nope, nope. Angie, why did you do this to us? The other visual I did not need was when Whitney went into detail about her and Angie both not wearing undies. Why in the heck do we need a confirmation of that? But even worse than that, why, oh why, does Glenn need to hear this? Am I just a prude? Do you think this was out of line, besties? Would you share this information with your father, or is this just TMI? Then we have Whitney comparing herself to an orca at her birthday party. Now, I'm not sure what she meant exactly by this comparison. Do you think she closely relates to an orca? I'm not so sure, because orcas, they exhibit problem-solving skills and are known to use creative and strategic approaches to various situations. I'm not sure that Whitney has problem-solving skills. Trying to think of a situation where she was problem-solving anything. I'm coming up empty-handed. Am I missing something? Please let me know in the comments. Has she problem-solved anything? Now, orcas also use a complex communication system that includes a wide range of vocalizations, such as clicks, whistles, and pulse calls. Now, in this regards, I am going to give this to Whitney because in addition to her shrieks and squeals at her friends, we have also recently seen her using cat meows. So maybe in communication, she is like an orca. Orcas also live in complex social groups called pods with distinct structure. Would you call Whitney's group of friends a strong social group, even if they are mainly there to receive a paycheck? Maybe. In addition, orcas are known for their learning and culture, with the ability to learn from one another. I am thinking she is not a quick learner. She is absolutely embarrassing as she travels out of the country. Seems she does not pick up on social cues, and I hate the thought that other countries may think that all Americans are like Whitney, especially when she's sitting there in the airport in Switzerland fanning her hoo-ha. The only thing she's culturing there was a yeast infection. Yuck! We all know that the family went to get matching tattoos of the rope knot, which I thought was really sweet. I actually do not have any tattoos, but may have been convinced to join the family in getting the tattoo. As Whitney was showing off her tattoos, did you notice the one she did not mention? She talked about the matching tattoo she had with Buddy and her glacier, but then did you see the one that says, "Cut me, Mick"? Now that one intrigued me as she made no mention of this tattoo, but after further investigation, it is a reference to the movie Rocky, where Rocky eye was all swollen from the fight and he told Mick to cut him so that he can continue the fight. This made sense as she recently went on what she is calling a blind date with Ravi's son. Now, I am sure Ravi's son was thinking he was the one who needed to be blind for that date. While on this date, she did share that Rocky is her favorite movie. Seems more and more recently she's also eating and chewing with her mouth open. Does she think this is cute? Because I find it repulsive. Let's keep sipping some tea, besties. In one of these videos, I'll see you there.